In my last videos, we've talked about a number of bills which were proposed in the 115th Congress, which ran from 2016 to 2018. And now there have been a number of key leaders in Congress who've really taken the initiative in putting digital asset bills in front of Congress. The SEC has been completely MIA in providing regulatory clarity on the digital assets, but really with or without the SEC decisions, these congressmen are pushing for normalcy and regulations so the digital asset space can really be set free and realize true mainstream adoption. Hey, this is Jeff with the HODL Report. Join me on today's video as we discuss the first blockchain bill that's put in front of Congress in the 116th Congress, and the bill is HR 528. If you enjoyed today's video, please remember to give a thumbs up, leave some comments below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It's right down there, subscribe button. I do want to plug a quick plug for the Nano S. I haven't mentioned it in a little while. Nano S, they launched the Nano X. And it seems that this is really the thing to do to plug it, but in reality, I use two Nano S. I find them to be extremely important. I've divided up crypto holdings on each. I might get a third. It makes sense. Same thing you do if you have large holdings in bank accounts. You don't keep everything in one account. You split it up. Same thing with the crypto. Split it up. You never know what might happen. Always best, and keep it in a safe place. So there's a link in the description below. You can check that out. Go online. You don't have to buy it through the link if you don't want to, but if you do, there's a small affiliate commission that comes to the channel. Now, two of the biggest names that we've talked about in Congress who've really taken a leading role in the blockchain digital asset bills are Republican Congressman Davidson of Ohio and Democrat Congressman Darren Soto of Florida. Now, there's another name, I had mentioned it before, from the 115th Congress. Now, we've mentioned Republican Congressman Tom Emmer of Minnesota, 6th District in Minnesota. Rep. Emmer is actually the first in the 116th Congress to reintroduce a blockchain bill and get it out there. Now, we're going to review his bill briefly. We're also going to do a quick overview of two of the most important congressional committees that these bills are being sent to. I think it's important that we all understand all of the dynamics of getting regulatory clarity within government. The two committees that we're going to discuss today, the Financial Service Committee and the Energy and Commerce Committee. Now, let's get into Congressman Tom Emmer's HR 528 bill. It's pretty straightforward. The title of the bill is to provide a safe harbor from licensing and registration for certain non-controlling blockchain developers and providers of blockchain services. This is really specifically related to making sure that these specific blockchain startups don't have to go through the entire registration process in terms of being a security, and really, again, the primary goal here is regulatory clarity. Now, it's interesting with this bill because as Tom Emmer is the sponsor, he's the primary. The co-sponsor on this bill is Darren Soto. We've mentioned him. I brought him up briefly now, but Darren Soto, he had HR 7224, HR 7225. He's also the co-sponsor in the 115th Congress on HR 7356, along with Congressman Warren Davidson. Now, Tom Emmer, Rep. Tom Emmer, introduced his bill, HR 528, to the House on January 14th, so just this past week, and it was immediately referred to the Financial Services Committee. Now, Emmer's bill really, again, as I mentioned, just to summarize, is focused in on exempting certain blockchain startups from security laws. Now, it is, to me, very apparent that Tom Emmer's HR 528 does fit And again, it coincides with what Rep. Soto's working on, what Rep. Davidson's working on. Rep. Soto's primary focus on consumer protection, the token taxonomy bill, which is to change the security laws. That was proposed by Davidson. And now we see what Tom Emmer's working on. All three of them, all of the bills that they're introducing do work and cover a nice spectrum for regulatory clarity across, really, again, across a much broader scope. And so it's so important when we really look at what these congressional reps are doing. One can't make it happen. Two can't make it happen. But now we've got, three primaries. We have others that I've discussed. And then it takes the grassroots efforts of all of us, and I've mentioned this on other videos, to reach out to those that would then have to approve these bills, which are then going to be in the committees. And that's what we want to look at now. So let's take a look at really two of the more important committees that these bills are being put in front of. Those committees are the Financial Service Committee and the Energy and Commerce Committee. So first, let's cover the Financial Services Committee. It's actually one of the most important, the most coveted to be on. And now let's go through. I could have written something up, but I pulled something from Wikipedia. It's just a very straightforward, clear definition, understanding of the Financial Services Committee. It oversees the entire financial services industry, including securities, insurance, banking, and housing industries. The Financial Service Committee also oversees the work of the Federal Reserve, the United States Department of Treasury, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, and other financial services regulators. It's currently chaired by Democrat Maxine Waters from California, Democrat. Now, there are new faces. There's a more socialist agenda that appears to be coming up, and really that were recruited to sit on the FSC, on the Financial Services Committee, with, again, representation from some of the far left fringe, like Cortez, who are recently elected, with members like her calling for 70% tax on income, a direct target on Wall Street. So really, let's hope that what's going on over there doesn't really derail any of the efforts. And these are bipartisan efforts. So here we have a far left socialist ideology that's coming onto the Financial Services Committee. Yet we have Democrat and Republican congressmen working together to attempt to achieve mainstream regulatory clarity within the digital asset space. And it's so important at the grassroots level that we contact everybody, every single office that is involved on these committees, on the Financial Services Committee, and we'll talk about the Energy and Commerce Committee. They need to hear from us that regulatory clarity in the digital asset space is very, very important, and we can't let their ideology and these ideologues hijack what needs to be done and pull it in a direction that it shouldn't go in. We need regulatory clarity in the digital asset space and the blockchain space. This is a technology. This is a financial asset class that is critical to our country. Now, the second is the Energy and Commerce Committee. So, per Wikipedia, the committee has served as the principal guide for the House in matters relating to the promotion of commerce and to the public's health and marketplace interests, with relatively recent addition of the energy considerations among them. Now, commerce. Commerce has a lot to do with what's going on in cross-border payments. Commerce has a lot to do, obviously, in trade. And so when we look at the Financial Services Committee, that is covering things like the Federal Reserve, banking, insurance, securities, and tie that in with the Energy and Commerce that's going to be covering, again, commerce, marketplace interests. This is so important. These committees are very, very important. So now the House Committee on Energy and Commerce has developed what is arguably the broadest, this is coming right from Wikipedia, the broadest non-tax oriented jurisdiction of any congressional committee. The committee maintains principal responsibility for legislative oversight relating to telecommunications, consumer protection, food drug safety, public health, air quality, environmental health, the supply and delivery of energy, and interstate and foreign commerce. So commerce, underline commerce, but even when we look at public health and food and drug safety, consumer protection, these are all things that will be covered in blockchain. So if we look at what Rep. Soto is working on, consumer protection for digital assets, this falls under the guidelines of the Energy and Commerce Committee. When we look at, again, overall just interstate and foreign commerce, so this jurisdiction extends over 5 cabinet-level departments and 7 independent agencies. This is going back to Wikipedia, from the Department of Energy, Health and Human Services, the Transportation Department, to the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, the FDA, the Food, Drug, and Drug Administration, and the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, which also then can really oversee what happens on the internet. So this is a very, again, really the 2 most important committees to focus in on, and this is where the digital asset bills are going. Now, Democrat Congressman Frank Pallone, New Jersey, is the chair of the Energy and Commerce Committee. Tom Emmer's bill, H.R. 528, has been put in front of the Financial Services Committee. When Darren Soto of Florida introduces his bill, it will go in front of the Energy and Commerce Committee, which incidentally Soto sits on. So he's really, again, is going to need that support, even though it's going to be a bipartisan effort. Every single member of the Energy and Commerce Committee needs to be contacted at the grassroots by concerned constituents. Same goes for those who sit on the Financial Services Committee. Now, when Warren Davidson introduces or reintroduces his bill, it's going to go to the Financial Services Committee. And I have to emphasize it because this is important, and I'll cover it on future videos as well. Each and every one of these congressmen can be reached by Twitter. They can be reached through their direct sites, through Contact Us, email type contact, which does get to staff members that are reading and concerned, and their offices do take phone calls from concerned constituents, and a constituent can be in their district or those who are concerned about what bills they're proposing or what bills they have to vote on. Now, if you want to learn how to help, I'm going to put a link below to the new Discord channel. You can request to join. If for whatever reason that link expires, contact me on Twitter. Contact me through the video. We'll make sure we get you set up on Discord. I want to make sure we keep getting more and more people on Discord, because that's where I'm going to put all of the information to easily get in touch with your congressional representative. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, please remember to give a thumbs up, leave some comments below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and a final note, I am not a financial advisor. All opinions expressed are my own personal opinions. If you don't agree with my opinions, that's great. You can tell me all about it in the comments. I'll listen, and I might even respond back. Now, if I'm going to leave you with any advice, then let it be this. Do your own research. Invest only what you can afford to invest. Invest only what you can afford to lose. Don't buy or sell based on the FUD or FOMO that's spread online. And with that, I look forward to seeing you on my next video, and keep on hodling your crypto.